Right now, there is a kindergarten teacher perusing the aisles of Target, even though he still has 2 more weeks of break. He's already dreaming up ways to make his students feel welcome. His classroom will be a refuge. For a few kids, it may be the only place where they feel truly safe because of a teacher. There's a language arts teacher who will take a week and give up her lunch period, those blessed 26 minutes to scarf down a meal, in order to help a student learn how to read. And although the progress is slow, this boy will become a reader because of a teacher. There's a math teacher who will have a room full of kids who claim that they're just not good at math. By the end of the year, his kids will be geeking out over ways to solve complex problems. They'll see that math can be creative and even fun, and they will become problem solvers because of a teacher. There's a science teacher who will inspire her students to chase after questions. And one afternoon, they'll be so excited about their experiments that they won't even notice the bell ring. And they will become scientists because of a teacher. There are history teachers who will inspire students to record history, and a group of PE teachers who will encourage kids to get more active. There are technology teachers who will help students send their work to the world, and fine art teachers who will get kids to find their creative voice. There are foreign language teachers who will help kids communicate globally. And there are CTE teachers preparing students for all kinds of jobs. And there's this teacher librarian who will see the students as children and not data. He's creating a makerspace while also inspiring kids to fall in love with reading. And they will become lifelong learners because of a teacher. And right now there's a 4th grade teacher with a scribbled up yellow legal pad. She's dreaming up wild new projects. And even though she jokes about not wanting to go back to school, she is secretly excited about meeting her new group of students. This is her 27th year, and she's still taking creative risks. To her, it's no big deal. It's what she does. But it's a big deal to her students. To them, she is a hero. And this year, she will make her students' world epic, like she always does. They will remember her forever, and she will change the world in ways that she cannot even fathom. And all of this will happen because of a teacher.
Wow. I'm like emotional. I'm like literally over here crying, you guys, watching that video. I just have to start off by saying like, oh, that's awesome. I just have to start off by just thanking you as educators and as just a mom who has been such a beneficiary of one of the most incredible, noble professions in the entire world. We just are so thankful for you, and like it doesn't go unnoticed. I feel like the pay is, I told my husband, I'm like, the pay is nowhere near what it needs to be for the investment that teachers put in their students' lives. And that is incredible. And I just truly, I don't have words for it. So to start off this call in this class, I'll put on my teacher glasses that actually mean nothing. They're actually just blue light glasses, and channel my inner teacher. And actually, you know what? The screen is kind of having a little bit of feedback. We're going to go without the glasses for now. Start us off by just teaching you. I don't know anything about being a teacher, but I do know some things about essential oils. And we're going to hear from teachers tonight who have been teaching for years and years, who are incredible. And they're going to talk about how they've used oils in their classroom to support that. But I just want to share kind of the basics of how essential oils work, what is the science behind them, and kind of maybe, if I can just be straightforward, convince you that they are awesome and that they're valid as looking at an option for supporting your health and your immune system during the school year. 2020 has been unprecedented, and what you've been through last year in school, I can't even imagine. Not only just the physical aspect of the worry of being around so many people and being in proximity, and then also being aware of all the rules and regulations, but also on an emotional level. And so we're going to start at the very beginning of what is an essential oil. If you're brand new here and you've never used an essential oil before, I'll talk you through it on a very basic level. So essential oils are the volatile liquid that's within any plant, shrub, tree, and it's the liquid that gives that plant its aromatic presence. So you know how I don't know if anybody else is obsessed with the basil. I have a basil plant, a rosemary plant. When I break my basil leaf off of the plant in order to go cook with it, immediately there's a fragrance about that basil that is really powerful. And that fragrance in the plant is the essential oil. It's not called essential oil because it's a cute term and it sells. It's called essential oil because that liquid in the plant is actually vital for the plant to be able to be successful and combat disease, heat, trauma. You think about the fact that a basil plant literally has a leaf pinched off of it, and then it can grow another leaf. That's pretty incredible. So that liquid is what carries nutrients and oxygen to those sites that are traumatized. And the essential oil in a plant is what gives it its power. So a long time ago, before there was Zoom and Facebook and Instagram and all that, like towards the beginning of the earth, there have been essential oils, and they've been used for medicinal purposes. Literally in ancient kind of like passages in scriptures, you'll see stories of gypsies who were spice traders traveling through Europe and carrying frankincense, carrying myrrh, carrying these balms that were literally valued over anything else. Think about if they're traveling via animal and they have room for so much stuff, but yet they choose to carry that stuff. It's not because it smells good, it's because it has power. So there is a research database called pub.med, pub.med, and it is a database full of research articles, peer-reviewed scientific studies showing the effectiveness of essential oils. And so if you are a science teacher here tonight and you need a little bit of convincing, I encourage you to go. Perfect. Thank you, Jeanette, in the chat. She typed it out. Go Google that site right there, pub.med, and start just type in orange oil, studies with orange oil, studies with frankincense oil, studies with clove oil. What you will find is that they have been studied for years and years and have really high levels of combative energy, and they are very good with the immune system in all systems of the body. And so that is what they are. The ways that we use them vary. Some people use them topically, some people diffuse them, some people ingest them. All the ways are beneficial, and you'll find the kind of routines that work for you. But I am so excited because we're going to hear from some routines from teachers. One other question that we got a lot heading into this class was, I would love to diffuse in my classroom, but I'm not sure if that is okay. I'm not sure if I have students that would, like, maybe their parents wouldn't be okay with that. So we are also going to hear from my friend Ninka, who's going to talk about kind of the process of that she went through. But anyway, that's not for a little bit. Before I pass the baton, I have a pair of earrings for every person who invited someone to the call. So if you invited a teacher, then I want to send you a pair of earrings. And just because I'm feeling like, I don't know, extra right now. I'm just feeling extra. Like after watching that teacher video, I'm like all emotional. If you were a teacher on the call and you didn't invite someone, please fill out this form, and I'm going to send you a pair of diffuser earrings as well. It'll say, who did you invite to the call? If you have to make something up, just make something up. That way the form can be submitted. But if you're a teacher, if you're an educator of any capacity, I want to send you a pair of diffuser earrings tonight. And then if you are an inviter and you are in our team and you invited someone who's brand new here on the call, please fill out this form as well, and I'll be sending you a pair of these earrings. I actually designed them myself and got them custom made and ordered like a lot of them. So I'm really excited to be able to share the love tonight. I will post that link in the comments, in the chat, so you can just click it and save it. And I'll also post that link with, actually that's where I'll post it. So we're gonna hear now from Karen, Karen Sandiford. Karen, if you wanna just unmute yourself, when you start talking, I'll spotlight your video. Oh, good, here you go. Take it away.
Hi, can you hear me?
Perfect.
Okay, great. Hi, I'm Karen Sanford. I'm a high school special ed teacher. I've been teaching for over 25 years. Never questioned what field I was going to go into. I've been told I've got a big heart, but my girls will tell you when we go to pick a new baby goat for the herd or kitten or puppy, I always want the runt. I want the little one there that's got to fight hardest for its survival. And that's where my heart is, because we all know we're not teachers because there's lots of money. We're not in it for the money. We're in it because of the kids. That joy of seeing them blossom. And we never stop learning. We're always learning. I have brought my best friend with me. This is Bliss Acreage. She's also a teacher. She's kind of my security. I have not Zoomed before where my picture was shown and I had to interact with others. So she's here to guide me so I won't get nervous. And she's Hannah Acreage's mother, who is upline above us. Did I say that correctly, upline? Okay. I have been experimenting with oil since December 2019. I was the doubting Thomas of the group. And it took my daughter giving me my first grandson for me to really, oh, you're putting that on him? Oh, wow. And what it did for the child. And so I want to bring this into my classroom. And I don't know where the fine lines are and what I can do and I can't do. So I'm ready to hear about how we can get it approved. I'm interested in that. But for me, every morning I'm going to start out with Stress Away, Thieves, these are all roll-ons, and Peace and Calming. I also, now this was my first day back at school, and it was our first workshop, and I needed something for my mask, and this was all I had in my purse at the time, and it was my Thieves chest rub. So I rubbed some in my mask, made a world of difference. I was desperate, but it worked. I don't care. For the children, I'm interested in diffusing oils, which we'll talk about later, and I really like the Unwind from the International Convention, that new product. And I have been trying it to see how it works on me. Now, I've already told my peers, so if I diffuse in the classroom and I clean my tables off with the Thieves Cleaner, I come prepared with my Super C, Super D, my roll-ons. For my teacher friends, I also want to include them because they're going to be in and out of my classroom because I have 7th through 12th grade, and they will always be in there. They'll be checking on students or we'll be going to their rooms. And I want to be able to offer them some support because did I say this? I don't sell oils, I share them. The oils sell themselves. And so I bought this to the rescue from the convention. And it has your Thieves, your M-Grain, your Digise, and your Deep Relief. And I'm missing one. I said them all, Digise. Oh, Stress Away. And that is something every teacher could use to carry on them. And I'm going to introduce it with some thieves packets and a thieves booklet and give them happy mail throughout the year using my oils.
Oh, that's so brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing that. Oh, I love that. And I love how you have a plan.
Oh, thank you. I've had plenty of time to think about this thanks to COVID. So
Yeah.
I decided to utilize this time learning about the oils. I'm still learning. I love the history. I love the fact that I can read it in the Bible. And when I remember when Hannah told me that first time, just take the digize and rub it in your belly button. And I went, why didn't I think of that? That makes so much sense. That's where I'm hurting. You're hurting in your stomach. Put it in your belly button. That's where the umbilical cord was connected. It made so much sense. And I went,
Love it.
why are they not still sharing all this everywhere? And I wish I had learned about this when I was younger.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you so much. All right, now I don't know if it messed up, but my computer was cutting off. So anyway, all right, we're gonna pass it over to Lizzie. Lizzie, thank you so much for sharing your experience.
Hey everyone, my name is Lizzie. I am a fourth grade teacher here in Louisiana, and this is the start of my 9th year. My first day back was today as well. We had some meetings, and I definitely had my stress away roller that I rolled right on the inside of my mask. So my oils are always handy. They're always where I can use them personally. But the way that I love using them in my classroom is diffusing. I can't rub oils on another person's child, but I can get them into the air and get the benefits from that. So my personal outlook as a teacher, like my goal, is to promote a safe, comfortable, and creative learning environment. And so I know some of the other ladies are going to talk about like making their classrooms safe using oils, like purifying the air with beads and things like that, because there are tons of oils that can actually kill germs and purify the air, and that are just going to be awesome for that. My favorite oil that my students absolutely loved this past year was lemongrass and orange. And there is a cereal that they say that this oil reminds them of, and it's Fruity Pebbles or Fruit Loops. Anytime I have that diffusing, they're like, oh my gosh, it smells like Fruit Loops, it smells like Fruity Pebbles. Yes. And so it is a great one for so many reasons. But I want to specifically talk about some of the oils that are great to diffuse for focus, for adding calm to your classroom, and for adding some creativity. So some of the oils that, and I have my notes here, some of the oils that benefit the students for focus would be oils like spearmint. It's naturally energizing, boosts mental concentration. So diffusing this before a test or a focus activity would be really, really helpful for your students. Vetiver is another oil that helps students cope with stress, anxiety. It's supposed to help with ADD, ADHD. It's supposed to be grounding and balancing. And I know as an adult during this time, I need that extra emotional support. And so being able to make my classroom smell amazing and also get benefits for my students is so appealing to me. Peppermint is another oil that, so the first oil was spearmint. Second was vetiver. These are all good for focus. The third one is peppermint. Peppermint stimulates the mind and calms your nerves at the same time. Peppermint is a really, really helpful oil to help students focus. Lemon is the other powerhouse oil for that as well. It improves memory and mental accuracy and concentration. There have been studies done with lemon that are just mind-blowing, with just like improving accuracy while you're thinking. Bergamot is another oil. It's another citrus oil, and it is calming, helps with hormones, supporting anxiety, agitation, and mood lifting. So all of these oils are oils that I like to diffuse in my classroom. Of course, for adding calm to the classroom, you've always got lavender, stress away, and things like that. Oils for creativity, we know that citrus fresh stimulates the right side of your brain. And so if I'm a writing and English teacher, so if I can tap into that side of their brain, then it's like, wow, okay, so we can get some creative juices flowing there. Tangerine, I don't know if you've smelled tangerine yet, but tangerine smells so delightful, and it helps with memory support. It's an immune booster and promotes happiness and calming. And so all of these oils, it's like, why wouldn't you? You know, I used to light candles all the time in my classroom, and yeah, while they smelled nice, they weren't good for my students, and they weren't good for me. But all of these things are actually great for yeah, the candles are doing more harm than good. And then I had this other idea based on something I saw from like on the internet when I was like just doing some research about some things. And I haven't tried this yet, but I'm gonna put it in my little pocket of tools for the classroom, okay? And that is to make aromatherapy Play-Doh, okay? I wanna have some little bins of Play-Doh that if I have a student that's just having an extra hard day or is having trouble focusing and just needs that tactile, maybe movement, like a stress ball just to play with the Play-Doh, I'm gonna have a little DIY Play-Doh like canister that I can give them, and they'll just keep it, of course. And I'll tell you the recipe, but I'll also put it in the comments just so you can see it. I thought this was like a brilliant idea. It's 1 cup flour, 1/3 cup salt, 2 teaspoons cream of tartar, 1 cup water, 1 tablespoon coconut oil, food coloring if you like, and then 10 to 20 drops of essential oil of your choice. So if I have a student that's really stressed, I might put peace and calming or lavender in that, you know, have that ready. And so they can just handle that, and just that scented Play-Doh is just a way to, you know, activate the aroma of the essential oils and, you know, give them something to do to de-stress. Again, I haven't tried that idea, but that is something that I am definitely, we're going to be doing that in the Felter household this coming weekend, because I know how important emotional support is for my students, for myself. There's so many like oils I take daily to help with my energy and things, but I don't even have time to get into that. But these are just some ideas to help your students focus, to help your students be calm and stimulate their creativity, and just set them up for success in the classroom. So I'm gonna pass it on to my friend Morgan. Thanks for letting me share.
Hey guys, I'm Morgan Cooper. Can you guys hear me? I teach first grade here in Kansas City, Missouri. Can you say hi? Hi. Sorry, his dad's not home and he's not going to bed yet. So my favorite thing about teaching is being able to teach kids to love learning.
My dad won't. My dad won't.
You gotta be quiet. Okay, so I'm gonna plan on using Thieves. Our school is actually not opening. We're doing virtual to start off with, but I'm gonna use Thieves in my classroom in the mornings to cleanse the air and get it ready for them to come in. In the mornings, I'm also gonna use lemon. I'm gonna apply it to the back behind my ears because lemon's good for mood lifting, and in the morning I would need that. Valor, which I just bathed myself in before this video, it is great for anxiety, and I have huge anxiety. So if you don't have this, which it does come in your starter kit, you guys need to get this because this helps with parent-teacher conferences, which can be really stressful for all teachers. I also plan on diffusing genius in my classroom before tests, any big things like that, assessments or anything. And then, of course, stress away. We're teachers. This one doesn't really need much explanation. So my husband's work had like a COVID outbreak. So I made him a thieves cleaner that I plan on using. I just use like a half a cap and then some vodka to disinfect all his stuff before he is allowed to come into my house. And then we also put thieves on the bottom of all of our feet at night to build our immunity, because this is great for that. So I would like to pass it off to the next amazing teacher named Kellen.
Hey everybody, I'm Kellen Hoagland, and I work in the special ed department now. I've taught everything from first grade up to 12th grade. So I've had lots and lots of different kiddos in my classroom. This is my 11th year. I was not actually going to go back this year. I had retired, and I was going to teach yoga and work my Young Living business full time. And my boss actually ended up coming to see me and begged me to at least come back part time. So I'm back part time. I work in the speech department in special ed. So I'm going to tell you how I use oils and how I have used oils in the past in my classroom. So in the SPED department, I am the only speech teacher. So I actually see kiddos from preschool all the way up to 12th grade because it's a small district and I'm the only one. So usually early in the mornings, the first kiddos I see are my preschoolers. So something I like to use, my light is really bad, I'm super sorry. I like to use Inner Child. Inner Child I apply over my heart and I apply on the back of my neck and I inhale it because I've got to be ready to play with those preschoolers because that is the best way they learn. Also, what I put on before I enter my office or my classroom is my Stress Away. And of course, I think I've heard every teacher say Stress Away before the day starts. Definitely Stress Away. I actually put it on several times throughout the day. Sometimes I'll wear it in my diffuser necklace. I have a few diffuser earrings that I may put them in, and I also diffuse it in my classroom. But Stress Away is awesome. I like to diffuse in the morning, first thing, I like to diffuse Thieves and Citrus Fresh. Thieves, because we like to have that all full body wellness support, okay? So I diffuse Thieves and I also diffuse Citrus Fresh. In my school district, we can diffuse. So Citrus Fresh, like Lizzie said, it opens the right side of the brain. So it helps with creativity and the kiddos love the smell. And it's one of my favorite oils too. So first thing in the morning, Thieves and Citrus Fresh is always going in my office or my classroom, whichever I'm working in for the day. In the past, I have had fifth graders, and we all know what fifth graders smell like after recess. So purification actually sits on my desk. And in the summertime, I would just put it on a cotton ball and put it in my air conditioning vent. And then in the wintertime, I do the same thing, only I put it in my heater vent. So really help my classroom smell amazing after recess time. That's the way I've always used oils. In my school district, as long as we have the parents' permission, we actually can apply oils to our kiddos. So there have been times where I might put Peace and Calming or Stress Away or Vetiver in my hand, even lavender sometimes, and just as I walk around my room, my kiddos that need it, I may pat their head a little bit and just get it in their hair, or I might just rub the back of their neck, or I might walk around and rub their back and get that smell on their shirt, and you can really see them change. I've had kiddos in the past that one in particular really had a temper problem, and sometimes he would actually come to me and say, I need that stuff that you make me smell sometimes. And it was Valor or Vetiver, whichever one I thought that he needed or I had on me, and I'd put it in my hand and let him smell it, and he loved it, and his mom was good with it. So yeah, the aroma Play-Doh, that's where that would come in amazing in the classroom. I think that's a great idea. But that's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much. And I'm going to pass it on to Minka.
Hi guys, can you hear me? All right, so I'm Minka Rudman, and I teach preschool, but I'm also the grade level coordinator for all of early childhood, so preschool, pre-K, and kindergarten. So I kind of am the little specialist, as they call me. I'm actually at a private school, so we have a little bit more leeway than public schools, but I'm going to kind of tell you how we get permission to do it and ways that you can, if you can't diffuse, ways that you can do it other ways. So I have a roller bottle in my car that has bergamot, grapefruit, and frankincense, and I roll that on before I walk in. It just kind of helps my emotions calm a little bit and start my day on a high note. So that's what I use. I keep it in my purse in the car and put it on. I use Stress Away today as I set up my classroom for the craziness of what this year is going to be like for littles, but that's what I usually put on. So what I did at our school was I went to our lower school head. So if you think about it in public school terms, we have a lower school, a middle school, and an upper school head, which is like your principal. And then we have a head of school, which is like a superintendent. So I first went to my lower school head and I explained why I wanted to diffuse, the process of oils, what they do. He said, let me go check with the head of school and we'll see what we can do about diffusing. So they quickly came back and said that I was able to do it as long as the diffuser wasn't going to burn them if it tipped over, which we know it won't, that we needed to have it, the plug away, that the little ones couldn't grab it. So I have them up on a shelf. And lo and behold, now that more people are getting to know oils and the amazing things they do, about a third to almost a half of our lower school teachers diffuse in their classroom. I'm trying to get them all on Young Living, but not all of them are. But our early childhood is all using Young Living. So that's really exciting. We don't have to ask the parents' permission at our school to use the oils in our room, but I've been doing it in my room since 2015. I've never had a parent say, please don't do that. I've only had parents say, please tell me what you're doing and where I can get these things from, because my kids love the smell. Why aren't they getting sick? So that's been really helpful. I always have samples in my room that I like to give parents, especially the thieves cleaner samples, because that has been really helpful to have the kids be able to clean, because I think it's important for the little ones to learn how to clean up after themselves, keep their environment clean, keep themselves healthy and clean. So I use thieves all the time to clean in the room, and the kids can take responsibility and clean with me in a safe environment and not use Clorox and Lysol and get all that yucky on their hands. What else was I gonna let you know? Oh, Play-Doh. We do a ton of, so those of you who said your districts don't let you, we do a ton of Play-Doh with the essential oils. Every Play-Doh that we do, we put the oils in, and I actually have the kids help mix those oils in. So that's a great way for them to get that smell in there. I'm able to use roller bottles. Sometimes I even make little chapsticks. We call them smellies for the little ones. So like before they have rest time, the kids can choose which smelly they want, and I just rub it on their hands and they can smell it. Probably with COVID, I'm gonna have to have each kiddo have their own bottle, because we won't be able to obviously share that. But that's easy to do. I also put oils on stuffed animals in the room. So each kiddo can have their own lovey, and I can drop an oil on there. So if you can't diffuse, there's another way that you could do that. I have spray bottles all over my room. Either they have thieves in them or they have the scents in them to help with the calming or to get ready for the day or emotional balance. And then I have also done cotton balls. So each kiddo can have a cotton ball at their desk that I can put oils in. So if you can't diffuse, they can have that cotton ball. So I'm very fortunate to be at a school that we are able to diffuse, but if you're not, those are some suggestions that you can do. I don't know with public schools if you would be able to explain that the diffuser can't tip over. I know that someone mentioned that things can't be, if it plugs in, it's a no-no. So hopefully we can start to change that with certain schools, but if not, those are some other ideas that you can use to get those oils flowing without diffusing if you can. And I'm gonna pass it on to Maya next.
Hi. I can't see myself anymore. I don't know what I did. But anyway, I'm Maya. I teach middle school science in a small school. So I have grades 7, 8, and 9. Um, and my favorite part of teaching is, especially at that age, once you start to get to know them and they come in and they can't wait to tell you things and share things with you. So that's always a highlight of my day when they come in and I just had to tell you this. So I try to keep my room inviting, and part of that is using my diffuser. I can use the diffuser in my room. I really like the smell of stress away, like a lot of you. And unfortunately, a lot of my middle schoolers did not really care for that scent. So I switched it up, and I have been using different citrus scents, orange, lemon, all of those types of things. And I'll have kids literally like walk in and go over and stick their nose into the mist because they like the smell. And again, that age group, they tend to be smelly once, they start cycling through gym and whatnot before they get to your class. So that helps. Just because they're kind of picky, that's pretty much all I put in my diffuser. But I keep Valor, Peace and Calming, Stress Away around for me. And then I also keep roller bottles of like Aroma Ease if, I end up with stomach issues, or a Pan Away blend for headache, and those kind of things on hand just for personal use. This year I haven't gotten inner defense in the past, but with all the crazy stuff happening now, I definitely want to have that on hand for this year. The only other thing I really have to share is I talked to my mentor teacher a couple years ago, and he had said just using plugins and whatnot in his classroom that he had a couple different parents say that their kids had asthma and any type of, sorry, my dog just started barking at something. Any type of food, fruity type scents were okay, it wouldn't bother them. So that's what he always stuck with and never had any issues. I did have somebody with a severe cinnamon allergy, so I had to avoid all the cinnamon blends. So sticking with the fruity stuff just kind of worked for me. So that is it. And I'm going to pass this to Lindsay.
Hi, everybody. All right, how are you today? So my name is Lindsay, and I am a high school honors chemistry teacher. So I teach 10th grade, and last year I did teach 2 sections of botany. So those were 12th graders. So I work with the upper end of the spectrum. And as a trained scientist and botanist, I kind of understand the science behind the essential oils and the plants and why they work. So I enjoy sharing that with my students and the parents alike. So entering this school year, we are entering in a virtual spectrum, but, and I will share with you what I plan to use for myself here at home, teaching from the home. But last year, I ran an experimental curriculum that I wrote that was 100% alternative assessment based. So no formal exams. It was all written assessments based on hands-on experiment. So the kid would experiment, I would teach them, and then about what they saw, and then they would write a lab report. Well, I have a variety of type of students. Some are good writers, some are not. And so as honor student, they expect of themselves a very high level of performance. And so they were very apprehensive about this and very nervous. And so I said, just trust me, just give it a chance. And so I actually ran an experiment in the classroom as a scientist to see the difference between how students reacted working with their assessment and typing that assessment with no oils versus with oils. And so let me just tell you, hands down, the students reported that they were so much more calm and relaxed when oils were diffusing in the room, even if they didn't know what was in it. Even if they could just hear the diffuser or see, the mist, they felt more calm. They felt more secure. So the one that I diffused the most was probably Stress Away, seconded by Peace and Calming. The students were relaxed. The students were focused. They did not feel that impending doom that often students feel during a high stakes or a heavy unit exam or a project. And so those are my top twos. And I know a lot of people have talked about them, but those are my top 2 favorite oils to diffuse in the classroom if you can. And your hair is a great diffuser too, guys. If you have hair that moves as you walk, your hair is diffusing because your body temperature is warming up. So those oils are diffusing naturally. Keep that in mind. So for me personally, I have major anxiety attacks and panic attacks. And so I have to use Peace and Calming and Valor in my life directly. And so I use it in my hair, on my wrists, in my clothes. I've never applied to other people, but I will tell you that I applied to my children. Those are the only other people. But those are the ones I'm going to be using on me this year here at home. And the stress of having to learn a new software, teach a new way, work around the fact that chemistry is a lab-based science and I don't have kids in a lab right now. So we're going to make it happen and probably going to do some chemistry of essential oils, guys, to be honest. I'm going to use it. It's something I love and I'm going to teach my kids about the chemistry of the molecules and how that works. So that's all I have for you guys tonight. Thank you so much. And I'm passing off to Lisa.
Hi everyone, my name is Lisa and I am a middle school special education teacher. So I have worked with 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students. Everything that everyone has been talking about, I feel like I have tried in my classroom. And the reason I actually got into essential oils in the first place was to try to help my son focus in school. And when I saw the success he had, then I brought it to my classroom and used it there as well. So I diffuse vetiver, cedarwood, and lavender a lot. That has helped out tremendously. And then I also diffuse thieves and lemon just because of the cleaning properties. But I really wanted to talk about specifically what I do for myself because everyone else has covered a lot of what I do for the students. So I know for me personally, a lot of the baggage that comes home with me with the kiddos can kind of keep me up at night sometimes. So I'll diffuse Peace and Calming at night. That is my go-to for a good night's sleep. And if I don't get a good night's sleep, then the next day I'm not ready to teach like I should be. So I definitely start with that just because it gets me going for the day. And another thing that I use regularly is energy. For me, it really just gets me in the zone and gets me ready for my day. So I will put this on myself. I have diffused it in my classroom too if I really need to pick me up and like if the students are kind of down and needing it too. It's really great. It really helps me and keeps me going through the day. I use Valor too. A lot of people use Valor. I put that on every single morning along with the energy. And then I do a blend of thieves, lemon, and frankincense in a roller bottle. And I'll put that on myself every single day and even throughout the day, especially the time of year when it seems like everyone is sick. And I do the same thing for my son. My husband even uses it too because it just keeps all the germs away. And then I'll diffuse that in the classroom too. And then I have had kiddos that have seasonal allergies. So a lot of what I choose to diffuse depends on the kids in the room and what's going on. So I'll diffuse lemon, lavender, and peppermint during those times of year. And then I've had kids that don't like certain scents, like what was mentioned previously. And so then I'll avoid those just because, I want everyone to be comfortable. If the kids have like a presentation or something coming up and none of the kids ever want to present, I will use Valor in the diffuser to kind of give them that boost of courage if they need it. And then a couple things that I like to keep in my desk with me at all times. I will find myself during the day, I carry a lot of tension in my neck, so I always keep deep relief or either pan away in my desk to roll on. I'll catch myself, especially when I'm at my computer, just like tense when I shouldn't be. And then because of all of that tension, I do get a lot of headaches. So I also keep M-Green with me for migraines and headaches throughout the day. Stress Away is another one I use when I start to feel a headache coming on. Again, Stress Away is like a teacher's best friend. But these are all the tools I use. They're all amazing. They've changed the way I teach, I feel. And then even when everything went virtual in the spring, I did all of this stuff at home because my son was at home during school, and then I still had to show up virtually for my students. So all of this was copied and used at home too. So regardless of the circumstances, all of it is super beneficial and great. And yeah, that's what I had to share. So hopefully you benefited from something. I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to Myra.
Everyone. Oh, hello, everyone. I guess y'all can hear me. Hi. Hello, everyone. My name is Myra Williams. This is my 19th year teaching, and I'm currently teaching 4th grade math right next door to the very special Lizzie Felter, who just spoke earlier. She was the second person to speak, actually. The reason why I chose to teach was because as a child, I went to private school, and for me at the school that I was at, it just wasn't any fun. I realized that, when I was that young, school was boring. And I decided to become a teacher because I didn't want kids to feel the same way I felt about school. So I like to incorporate dance and singing and music in my classroom. I like to have a lot of fun. A couple of years ago, I had the privilege of going to the Ron Clark Academy. And if you know anything about Ron Clark, he's kind of like, the Walt Disney of teaching. He's like going to the Ron Clark Academy. It's like going to Disney World. But anyway, the reason why I mentioned Ron Clark is because, that's my style of teaching. I love everything about Ron Clark. He's, just phenomenal. So with that being said, I like to make learning outside of the box whenever it comes to learning and teaching. I recently learned that the use of essential oils in the classroom can help with student productivity and mood. And Young Living essential oils, which are therapeutic grade oils, it means that they're pure and they have not been diluted with any other types of oils or alcohols. So that being said, you want to make sure that you're really careful when you use the oils in your classroom, and just make sure that you know your students if they have any medical issues before using those oils. And that's not just for students, but that's for students and teachers, because if they have asthma or any type of severe allergies, they could react badly to the different scents. And I found that out by I was giving my sister some Thieves hand purifier, and she's actually a registered nurse, but she has really bad asthma. And we found out that she started wheezing after she used the hand purifier. So that's when she realized there was something in the Thieves blend that she's allergic to. So she cannot be anywhere near Thieves, or it's like a lot of the essential oils, we have to like read the ingredients together when it comes to her and her severe allergies. So just make sure that you notify the parents and check your students' CUNE folders to see if they have any allergies that are going to be listed. So something else I wanted to tell y'all about, a few years ago, a coworker of mine was having an impromptu oil party after school. And, of course, I went to support her, and, everybody was talking about Thieves. And, of course, to be honest with you, back then, I thought Thieves was smelly. I didn't like the way it smelled at all. But I later found out that the reason why oils are unpleasant to most is because those are the oils that your body needs. And with that being said, I'm a germaphobe. So I was like, oh, maybe that's why I didn't like thieves, because that's what my body needed it to help, I guess, keep me, good and free of germs. So anyway, fast forward 2 years, thieves was actually given to me before I got into my own oils and diffusing and whatnot. Thieves was given to me by an amazing parent who later then told me about the benefits of it and using it in my classroom. And to be honest with you, I've been using it ever since. This past winter, we had kids dropping like flies with the flu. And I continue to diffuse the thieves every day in my classroom. And with that being said, I never got sick with the flu. To God be the glory. And I also wanted to say, like, for this year, my plans are to take it up a notch. I don't want to just diffuse. Like was said earlier, I planned on putting it on a cotton ball. That way the students could keep it inside of their desk, or if they needed to rub it in their hands, or if they just wanted to put it on top of their desk, they would have access to that cotton ball. And also, they could drop I could drop some essential oil on the tip of their eraser, which is also a different way, to try to use that. And I also plan on having, and I'm really, really excited about this, but I want to have themed days where it's going to be kind of like, Thieves Thursday and Citrus Fresh Friday and Common Sense Tuesday and Oh Joyous Hump Day and Motivation Monday. And once I get started and actually get to know the kids and learn about their specific needs, I'll be able to customize their cotton balls, according to their moods, according to the weather or current class conditions. And the last thing I want to share is today I tried my roller blend that I have, and I put it on my mask. I've heard about spraying the mask with thieves cleaner, or maybe like some thieves essential oil and water. But what I did, I didn't have a spray bottle. I just had my roller blend, and my roller blend was a mixture of 10 drops of purification. I'm gonna give y'all time. 10 drops of lemon and 10 drops of thieves. And I filled up the rest of the roller bottle with fractionated coconut oil. And those 3 oils together smell phenomenal. So what I did was, while my mask was on, I just took the roller and I just right in front of my nose and my mouth area with the roller, and just went about my day, and then put some behind my ear and went about my day. So that's all I have to share. So now I'm going to pass it over to the wonderful Bethany Shipley.
Hey, oh my gosh, that was amazing. Wow, you guys, I am blown away. Not only just by the practical tips, but like, I don't know if well, I don't know if you know this, but we're actually going to be homeschooling this year. So I feel like I'm inspired in a new way to teach my kids just like all about everything but using oils. So thank you for so many practical ideas. If you're brand new here and you're like, I'm sold, I want oils, how do I get them? You're going to go to the person who invited you to this call and say, girl, dude, give me your referral number to Young Living. They're going to give you like a 7 or 8 digit number, and you're going to go to youngliving.com and get my suggestion is to get a starter kit that has, listen to all these oils that's in the starter kit, and you will remember that almost every single, Erica, I feel like I've been to Young Living Church, same girl. You'll hear all of the teachers say these same oils. These are all in the kit. So it's Stress Away, Thieves, Valor, Peace and Calming, Citrus Fresh, Lemon. All of those come in the kit, and you get a diffuser. I have the old diffuser. You can get that diffuser right there, or there's like a prettier one. I recommend the Desert Mist. And so then also it comes with some more oils like frankincense, which are incredibly stimulating to the brain, Digize, which is good for digestion, Panaway, which is amazing for muscle tension, and then a few other things in that kit. We're going to walk with you through the process of getting a kit, getting incorporated with them, feeling comfortable using them and all that. But I just wanted to give kind of like okay, leaving this call, here's what you do if you're not yet into oils, here's how you can move forward. At that point, we'll get you incorporated into our educational Facebook group, and we do classes every Monday night. Next week actually is all about pregnancy and delivery. So if you know anyone who's pregnant, close to wanting to be pregnant, close to delivery, this would be a great class for them. So same Zoom link, same time, same place. Thank you so much to every single teacher who presented on here. And I'll just wait a quick second while you're hopping off. I'm going to just post that link again. Yes, Shauna, I'll post that link again. This is the link. I want to give a pair of diffuser earrings to any educator that's on the call, any teacher that's here tonight live. And I'm going to send you, let's grab the link. I'll post it really quick. And then anyone who invited someone who is like anyone, as a perk to being in our team, if you invite someone, bring someone, you're entered in, or you're going to get diffuser earrings too. So fill out this form. This form, originally, I didn't even plan on giving it to everyone. So some of the questions might be irrelevant for you. If you're like, I was just invited by a friend and I don't have a member number, but I am a teacher. Just make up a number. I'm sorry for the confusion there. Just forgive me on that. Oh, all right, you guys have a great night. Grab that link before you hop off. Fill out the link tonight. We'll get it sent out tomorrow. Have a great night. Thanks for joining.